ever noticed that the moment you start leveling up, the moment you start growing, healing, maturing, or finally stepping into your power, the people you trusted most suddenly start shifting on you? It's strange, isn't it? You're becoming more disciplined, more focused, more self aware, more spiritually aligned. But they start acting distant, colder, irritated, threatened, confused. Instead of celebrating you, they tighten up on you. Instead of supporting you, they criticize you. And instead of lifting you up, they pull away like your evolution is an inconvenience. And you're left sitting there thinking, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Did I offend them? Why does my growth feel like a problem? You know that moment when you are trying your hardest, but they act like your effort is a threat? That moment when the better you become and the worse they treat you, when your confidence triggers their insecurity, your maturity exposes their stagnation, and your elevation disrupts their comfort. And deep down, you're wondering, why does it feel like I lost someone I thought would clap for me? Let me look you dead in the spirit and tell you the truth with love. It wasn't you. You just outgrew them. And today, we're going to talk about what that really means for your journey, your growth, and your destiny.
Where magic meets mindset, where the moonlight leads the way, manifesting with mystic, every law's in play. Hits, align it, believe it, receive it. With mystic you'll achieve it. Manifesting with mystic, your cosmic path is clear.
When I tell you I understand this topic deeply, I'm not speaking from theory. I'm speaking from lived experience, twice, in two completely different worlds. And both times it broke me a little before it built me stronger. I want to share this with you so you know you're not alone, and so you understand the spiritual pattern behind what you've been feeling. The first time this happened to me was with a boss I trusted, a boss I respected, a boss I genuinely wanted to learn from. I wasn't rebellious, I wasn't difficult, I wasn't lazy. I worked hard for him and I cared about my job. I wanted to grow, but the harder I worked, the worse he treated me. The more I elevated, the more uncomfortable he became. I would offer solutions and he'd get irritated. I would try to improve and he'd pull away. It didn't make sense. Until one day he said, I guess I should have been harder on you. And that's when I realized it wasn't that he needed to be harder. It was that he couldn't go higher. I outgrew his leadership. The second time it happened, it was with a spiritual teacher I admired, someone I supported, someone I thought had my best interest at heart. But the moment my presence started influencing the group, the moment people started noticing me, the moment I carried weight without trying, she reacted. I tried to shrink myself to make her comfortable. I stepped back and I stayed neutral. I literally said, I'll go with the majority just to avoid tension. But even my neutrality created waves. Some people followed me, some people opposed me, and she became angry at both. Not because of what I did, but because of who I was. And when I blocked her, she emailed me from a different address, then made vague posts online about being human and making mistakes. And everybody knew she was talking about me. That's when it clicked. I didn't threaten her position. My evolution exposed her insecurity. I outgrew her leadership too. And I'm telling you this because you need to know you're not imagining the shift. You're not misreading the tension. You're not the only one this happens to. This is what it looks like when your spirit grows faster than the container you were placed in. And if it happened to me, it makes perfect sense why it's happening to you. Now let's talk about what this looks like in real life. Example 1, you start improving and instead of cheering, they get colder. Example 2, your maturity triggers their insecurity. Example 3, your independence feels like rebellion to them. Example 4, you don't even try to lead, but people follow you anyway, and that threatens them. Example 5, your neutrality creates waves even when you're quiet. Example 6, Your presence shifts the entire room without you trying. Example 7. You start feeling like the room is too small for who you're becoming. This is what it looks like when your evolution moves faster than the people who were supposed to lead you. Now, let's talk about why this happens, because once you understand the spiritual mechanics behind it, everything starts to make sense. When you grow, you don't just change your habits, you change your vibration. And your vibration affects the entire environment around you. Some people can rise with you, and some people simply can't. Here's what's really going on. First, your growth exposes the places in others where they've stopped growing. Your confidence reveals their insecurity. Your healing reveals their avoidance. Your clarity reveals their confusion. Your evolution reveals their stagnation. People don't get mad at your improvement, they get mad at the mirror your improvement creates. Second, your spirit starts requiring a higher level of leadership, and not everyone has the capacity to lead you at that level. Some people can guide the old you, but they cannot guide the version of you that's emerging. They only knew how to lead you when you were smaller, quieter, less aware, less powerful. Once you grow past their skill set, their confidence crumbles. And instead of admitting they're no longer equipped, they blame your evolution for their discomfort. Third, your elevation disrupts the old power dynamics. When you grow, you naturally become less dependent, less available, less controllable. Your yes carries more weight and your no hits harder. People who rely on control feel that shift immediately. They take your independence personally, as if your growth is an act of rebellion. Fourth, the relationship was built on an outdated spiritual contract. Some people enter our lives only to help us for a season, not forever. And when the season ends, spirit starts creating tension to push you out of the old container. It's not punishment, it's promotion. Finally, your energy starts speaking before you ever open your mouth. Your aura shifts, your presence changes, your spirit expands, and people who aren't prepared for that expansion feel threatened by it. Not consciously, not intentionally, but spiritually. This is why they act different. This is why their tone changes. This is why their behavior shifts. This is why the relationship cracks. It wasn't you, it was never you. Your growth simply revealed who could grow with you and who couldn't. Now, let's talk about something most people never mention. What happens when the student becomes the teacher? Because this shift doesn't just confuse them, it can confuse you too. Here's the spiritual truth. Sometimes you don't outgrow the person. You outgrow the position they held in your life. You learned what you were meant to learn. You absorbed the wisdom you needed. You elevated beyond the level they were assigned to guide. And that doesn't mean they're bad. It doesn't mean they're unworthy. It doesn't mean they're your enemy. It just means your roles changed. And role changes can feel like earthquakes. Here's how to handle it with spiritual maturity. 1. Don't shrink yourself to protect their ego. Your growth is not betrayal. Their insecurity is not your responsibility. 2. Don't gloat, brag, or look down on them. Graduation doesn't require humiliation. You can honor the role they did play without staying stuck in it. 3. Don't stay where you no longer grow. When the energy shifts, the assignment shifts. Spirit doesn't keep you in classrooms you've already mastered. 4. Release the dynamic with grace, not guilt. You're not abandoning the connection. You're honoring the evolution of it. 5. Bless them for what they taught you and step boldly into what you are meant to teach next. The moment the student becomes the teacher, the relationship naturally reorganizes itself. This is not disrespect. This is divine order. And here's the most important part. A true teacher celebrates your elevation. A false one competes with it. When you become the teacher, don't fight it, fear it, or doubt it. Embody it, own it, walk in it, because your next assignment will require the version of you that no longer fits the role of student. Now let's talk about the signs. The clear, undeniable clues that you've outgrown someone, whether it's a boss, a mentor, a friend, or even a spiritual teacher. These signs show up long before the relationship collapses. Most people just don't recognize them until afterward. Here's what it looks like when your spirit has already moved on, but the connection is still pretending to hold together. Sign 1, their feedback shifts from helpful to hurtful. It used to be guidance. Now it's criticism, nitpicking, or unnecessary pressure. Not because you're doing worse, but because you're doing better. Sign 2, your growth makes them uncomfortable instead of inspired. The more you elevate it, the more they withdraw, tighten, or act irritated. Your success feels like a threat to them. Your evolution exposes their stagnation. Sign 3, you start to feel like you're walking on eggshells. You overthink your tone, your ideas, your presence, because you never know how they're going to react. This is a sign your spirit has already outgrown the space. Sign 4, they misinterpret everything you do. Your boundaries look like attitude, your confidence looks like defiance, and your independence looks like disloyalty. They're not reacting to your behavior, they're reacting to your growth. Sign 5, they become unpredictable with praise and criticism. One day they like you, next day they're cold. One moment they support you, next moment they're dismissive. Your elevation disrupts their emotional stability. Sign 6, you no longer seek their validation. You don't hate them, you're not angry, you're just done. Something inside you quietly detaches. You see them clearly for who they really are. Sign 7, being around them feels draining instead of motivating. You used to feel guided, supported, or inspired. Now you feel small, tense, or exhausted. That's your spirit telling you the connection is complete. Sign 8, you start dreaming or imagining your life without them. Not from revenge, not from ego, but from clarity. Your intuition is already preparing your exit. Sign 9, the relationship feels like it's shrinking while you're expanding. Your ideas get bigger, your spirit gets brighter, your vision gets clearer, and suddenly the relationship feels too tight, too narrow, too limiting. Sign 10, your peace increases every time you pull away. That's the number one sign. Your peace tells the truth long before your mind accepts it. When stepping back feels better than leaning in, it's because you've already outgrown the connection. These signs don't mean you're arrogant. They don't mean you're changing for the worse. They mean your soul has outgrown the room while they're still trying to keep you in the hallway. And that's normal. That's natural. That's spiritual evolution. Now let's talk about something even more important. How you can rise into leadership without becoming the very thing that wounded you. Because when spirit elevates you, when you become the one others look to for guidance, it's easy without realizing it to repeat the behaviors that hurt you. So let me give you the spiritual wisdom that keeps you aligned, humble, and powerful. 1, remember what it felt like to be dismissed. Never forget how painful it was. When someone minimized your voice, your ideas, or your growth, use that memory as your compass so you never make someone else feel that small. 2, celebrate your students' evolution. If someone you teach becomes powerful, wise, confident, or skilled, that's not a threat. That's evidence of your impact. Clap for them loudly. 3, don't confuse leadership with ownership. Just because someone learned from you doesn't mean they belong to you. Their elevation is not betrayal. Their independence is not disrespect. A true leader prepares people to outgrow them. 4, stay teachable, even when you're the teacher. You are not above learning. You are not beyond correction. Sometimes the student carries wisdom you haven't reached yet. Honor that exchange. 5, lead from love, not fear. Fear makes leaders controlling. Love makes them empowering. Fear creates competition. Love creates legacy. 6, release roles gracefully. If someone steps into their next level, don't guilt trip them. Don't try to hold them back. Don't weaponize closeness. Bless them and let them rise. 7, stay rooted in your purpose, not your position. Your calling is to teach, guide, uplift, awaken, not to dominate or diminish. A position can be taken, a purpose cannot. 8, lead in a way that allows others to surpass you. That's how you know you're doing it right. If your students rise higher, shine brighter, or grow faster, that is a divine honor. It means you didn't just teach them, you transformed them. Now let me free you with the truth you never got from them, but you absolutely deserve to hear. You didn't fail, you didn't fall short, you didn't mess up the relationship, you didn't change for the worse, you didn't become difficult, you didn't become arrogant, you evolved, your spirit expanded, your awareness sharpened, your boundaries strengthened, your frequency shifted, your purpose got louder, your intuition got clearer, and your soul said, I can't stay where I'm shrinking. Some people can only love you at the level they met you. And when you grow beyond that level, they can't meet you where you're going, only where you used to be. So they react. If they pull away, they project, they misinterpret your growth as disrespect because they don't have the inner stability to honor your evolution. Your growth is not an insult. Your elevation is not an attack. Your maturity is not rebellion. Your independence is not disloyalty, it's spiritual progress. And when your spirit rises, anything and anyone that cannot rise with it will naturally fall away. That's not abandonment, that's alignment. Some relationships end because they were toxic, but others end because you healed. And once you healed, the old dynamic couldn't continue. You didn't outgrow them because you were better. You outgrew them because you became truer. Truer to yourself, truer to your purpose, truer to your calling. You didn't lose them. You graduated, and now your next level is waiting. If this message spoke to you, if you felt something unlock inside your chest, if someone's face flashed through your mind while you were listening, that's not a coincidence, that's confirmation. You didn't imagine the shift. You didn't hallucinate the tension. You didn't misread the signs. Your spirit knew the truth before your mind could catch up. You outgrew their leadership. You outgrew their expectations. You outgrew their comfort zone. You outgrew the version of you they preferred. And your next level has been waiting for you to realize it. So take a breath, step into your truth, and honor your evolution. And if you want more teachings like this, more empowerment, more clarity, more cosmic insight, and more guidance for your spiritual journey, make sure you like this video, leave me a comment, and subscribe to the channel, and share this message with someone whose soul needs this reminder. I love you with that deep cosmic agape kind of love always.
Alright, listen, this is DJ Jamal tapping in again. If this message hit you the way I know it did, then go ahead and honor that upgrade you just received. Because when you evolve, when your spirit expands, when your frequency rises, every room can't hold you, every leader can't guide you, and every season ain't meant to stay. But you kept growing anyway, and that's real power, that's real elevation, and that's mystique level transformation right there. So here's what I need you to do. Hit that like button like you love your growth, and drop a comment telling us which part spoke to your soul. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss another activation, and share this message with somebody who needs to hear the truth tonight. And don't forget, every lesson on this channel got a sealed song over on Hidden Hymns Archives, designed to lock that energy into your spirit. Go run it up, go vibe with it, go strengthen what you learned today. This is DJ Jamal, signing out with love, power, and clarity. Stay growing, stay glowing, and stay evolving. We'll see you in the next one.
Should have been harder on you, as if that failure was something I made him do. But baby, listen, you outgrew their leadership, just like I did. You didn't fall short, you just grew too big. You weren't the problem, they just couldn't hold your light. Some people collapse when you start to rise. You outgrew their leadership, and that's your crown. What they mishandled, heaven wrote down. It wasn't your weakness, it was their fear. You didn't lose them, you leveled out of their sphere. I know how confusing it gets when you're trying to follow someone you respect, but every time you succeed they get upset. Every time you step back they still feel threatened. I've been in rooms where my yes shook the balance, and my silence made them panic. Where my vote, my voice, my presence shifted everything, even when I didn't plan it.